Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wareham Planning Board meeting of May 11, 2026. The time is 6 p.m., and I will start with a roll call, starting with Mr. Baptiste.
Mike Baptiste here.
Carl Schultz here.
Julie Moran here.
Sam Corbett here.
And Jane Gleason here, so full board. We also have Josh Faraday, Planning Director, and Phil Cordero from LN Major. So, first item on the agenda is approval of meeting minutes, and we have 3 of them, and if no one objects, we could take all 3 together. Any objections to that?
No, just there's a typographical error in the April 13th. It had on at East Boulevard, Member Schultz motion to close the public hearing. Second he had by Member Schultz, but it was myself, so
Okay.
we could change that, I'll initial it, but otherwise.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of February 9th, March 25th, April 13th, 2026.
So just doing the one?
Oh, 3.
Sorry,
As noted.
as noted.
As amended, yeah.
Okay. And do I have a second on that?
Second. I seconded it this time.
All in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye. So that's done. Item 2. It says 13 Wareham Avenue, but I believe it is 19.
Yeah,
that correct?
We noticed that early this morning, and we posted an amended agenda with.
Okay, I did not pick up on that.
Yeah.
couldn't find an amended.
Your wife. Your wife is
It
always
happened
That's okay.
maybe around noon time. Yeah.
Did everybody get that?
But the
The
correction?
amended?
No, I didn't, but I was in a meeting, so.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
think. I mean, yeah, I didn't email it out.
I moved that we accept the amended.
Do I have a second on
Second.
that? All in favor?
Aye.
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 I like that. Aye.
Aye. Okay.
They know her name by now.
Okay. Good evening. Sorry.
Matt Leone with Schneider, Vignan and Leone, here tonight on behalf of the Hamilton Beach Association and David and Paula Cloud with A&R Division of Land. This plan was originally submitted back in September 2025. Subsequent to our meeting, the applicant, David Cloud, had sought counsel, and that counsel had reached out to Mr. Flaherty of the Planning Department, and we have come in with at their request, have come in with a revised plan that basically changed a few notations to better clarify and better depict the intent of the plan. Just for those that weren't here on the original September meeting, I can go over the plan a little bit with you. The intent is basically there is a stone seawall that has been in existence since the 50s that borders the property of the Clouds and the Hamilton Beach Association. The wall is in disrepair and needed to be reconstructed. We came out and did a survey. We realized that the stone wall that as existing was over the property line of the Clouds and onto the Hamilton Beach Association property. So the Hamilton Beach Association and the Clouds have agreed to keep the wall where it is, reconstruct it in place, and to convey the land that is occupied by the stone wall or the seawall from the Hamilton Beach Association to the Clouds. So essentially what we have here is really a lot line adjustment. We're changing the southerly lot line of Lot 10, the Clouds property, and the northerly portion of the northerly lot line of the Hamilton Beach Association property. The parcel that's shown on the plan is parcel A. We have depicted a notation that parcel A is not to be considered a separate building lot, and is to be conveyed to and combined with Lot 10, which has adequate frontage on Worrell Ave. The Clouds property has 100 feet of frontage. It has about almost 7,000 square feet, 6,943 square feet of area. It is a paved way. The Hamilton Beach Association property is basically a beachfront recreation property that's used for the association members and people in the neighborhood to access and utilize the beach. There are no structures on this lot, and according to the assessors, it's approximately 3.2 acres in land area, and it is accessed by a couple different ways off of the subdivision. The plan here will not adjust the frontage of either lot. It will not change the access of either lot. The only area, the 724 square feet, will be removed from the Hamilton Beach Association property and added to the Cloud property.
And I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. We didn't do this before. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, including what you've just stated about the whole project?
I do.
Thank you.
I was going to say, don't make him do the whole thing over.
Please don't.
No, you started and you had this good momentum going. I didn't want to interrupt. Anyway, okay, so we've got that out of the way. Do we have any questions from the board?
Madam Chair, through you to the planner, Josh.
Listening?
Yes. In your opinion, does this adequately address my concerns about the lots needing frontage for an A&R?
I would say yes. Yes, it does. Because
But-
the lot that is being combined with has adequate frontage, and you're not making it any more non-conforming, right?
Right.
It's a
Right, so I
the
see
benefit.
that solves that problem. The Hamilton Beach property has no frontage anywhere, right?
I think it has 2 or 3 access points.
But no adequate, they're like walkways.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
So does that require frontage? As because they're part of the A&R. So if Mr. Cordero wants to weigh in, I am still concerned, we have not had the discussions that I need.
Yeah, I would say.
I appreciate you're here, so this is just me doing it.
Absolutely.
You're recommending that it meets the requirement?
Yes, I am. And as to the concern of whether the Hamilton Beach Association property, you're not confirming its zoning in any way through the A&R.
We're talking about A&R, and my rigorous interpretation, until we get clarification, is that both lots that are party to the A&R would need frontage. And I'm just looking for clarification.
Yeah, I think the Hamilton Beach lot was created at the time of the subdivision when it was approved as a lot then. So you are making it less conforming. That is true. But
How
it
is
was
it-
it was
how is it
probably
not
it was
building
never
on it?
determined to be buildable in the
Buildable
beginning.
is not in the list of requirements for an A&R determination.
How is it making it less conforming?
Yeah. You're reducing the land area of the lot.
But was the land
Well,
area?
It's probably, sorry, yeah, I used the word non-conforming, but
I wonder if that
it
was
was probably never, actually, it is not, I don't want to say it's unbuildable. It is likely unbuildable due to the conservation
And the
jurisdiction.
proximity to the
Right,
flood
right.
zone.
Yeah.
And it's being
I'm going to ask my
conveyed
fellow board members,
to
am
this.
I just, what they're doing is a good thing. I
Yeah.
don't question that.
Yeah.
When we did this originally, I told them they needed to file a different kind of
Yeah,
plan,
subdivision.
but they worked with the planner and came back with an A&R. Mr. Cordero, do you have an opinion? Am I being overly whatever? You can say whatever you want. I'm asking for your opinion.
No, I'm happy to give it. I can't speak about this particular application.
So my
I've not
question
seen
more
it.
broadly is,
Yes.
if there are two lots involved in an A&R, do both of them have to have frontage?
If you are, my interpretation is if you are intimating to the board that both of them would be considered legal lots under the compliance with the zoning bylaws, then the answer would be yes.
And that's how I'm reading it, so.
If the plan does, however, because especially in a town like, a rural town like Wareham that has a lot of cranberry bogs and old ancient ways, if you are creating a division of land where you're asserting that one of them is a lot with the intention that it meets all zoning requirements,
And buildable.
and the other is potentially a parcel, which is not a lot under the zoning
And
bylaws.
Not
here-
buildable.
That
That's
goes
another
back to
point
continue.
of-
I cannot find the word parcel anywhere in Mass General Law.
Nor in our bylaw.
Or- nor
as-
in our
As
bylaws.
defined,
So-
a definition of it.
So parcels don't exist for me.
So completely
I agree,
understandable.
Yeah.
And under the subdivision control bylaw, they don't exist there either, and that wording needs to be changed. But there is sufficient case law interpretation about the designation and the difference between parcel and lot for the purposes of an A&R establishment. That's where the distinction comes in. And unfortunately, you have to do the research to confirm those. Most towns, like Wareham, has simply adopted the subdivision control rules and regulations, mass subdivision. But the case law is really where this thing unfolds.
And I read the A&R handbook as best I could, and without benefit of legal advice, I didn't find it in there either. And we went round and around on another application on parcel. So I have been begging for either attorney input or,
Town council.
but, okay. I am going to, because I think what we're doing is a good thing, I'm going to not vote on this. I'm not going to probably vote on A&Rs until we can get this cleared up, because I think we're not being rigorous enough. We're doing good things, not questioning that. I think the mechanics of the law said there are different ways to do the same thing, which is a new subdivision plan, but
How do we solve this issue?
I withdraw
What's that?
my question. Thank you, Mr. Cordero, thank you for your advice. Josh, thank you for your recommendation. I withdraw any objection, but will
This is
not.
the third time we've had this issue recently. How are we going to solve it? We can't go on this way.
If I may, I thought at the last meeting there was a discussion about Attorney Jonathan Silverstein from Blattman Bobrowski
Hasn't-
appearing in front of the board
Hasn't happened.
to allow some of that legal.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I know you're working on it, Josh.
Yep, I'm working on getting the
As
schedules
I-
to match. Yep.
As I said, I withdraw, I appreciate the applicant, I appreciate the work they did, I appreciate the guidance they got. I withdraw my
We need to
objection,
get
but
training
will not
because
vote.
Town council's not able to do it.
Well, I think that, from my perspective, I appreciate your concerns. And I think that the intention here is a good one. I think that the lot that becomes the beach, or that is the beach, will not be built on, regardless of,
Whether you say it's
Your
buildable or
arguments.
not.
Right.
Yes.
just because you've got conservation issues and it's beach, and it's too low, and it's too close to the water, among other things. So I think that should this be challenged by anyone, I would leave this up to the legal minds. But I think that it's the right thing to do to solve an issue that you've got. So I would entertain a motion to approve this A&R.
So moved.
I don't know if I'm being
You need a
being
second.
clear
You
enough.
need a second.
I don't know if I'm being clear or.
Second.
You are, yeah.
Well, I understood, and if it gets the wall repaired, which is
Yeah,
a good thing.
and if it means digging into case law to find the definition between, or the differentiation between parcel and lot, I'm not a lawyer. We'll leave that to legal counsel if it becomes, if it's challenged.
Can we
I think-
put a formal request into our legal counsel?
Excuse me?
Can we get a request into our legal counsel to get an answer? Because I'm with Carl, I don't like doing
Yeah,
this.
I don't like doing it either. I don't either. But this poor applicant has been before us 3 times now.
It's not his
so-
fault.
No, it's
So
not his
I
fault.
move that we separate that request out of the discussion
Yeah.
Here.
for the A and R.
So-
I appreciate, I think the answer is we have to get this training that we're waiting for.
Something.
Well, yes, but I also think we need the benefit of town council to review the case law. There's actually 2 cases.
Right.
I'm a retired lawyer, so I'm not giving a legal opinion. And
You are
to.
offering legal opinion?
No, I said I'm not. I'm a retired attorney as of last year. But to provide us, to review the case law, there's several cases, and to provide us with guidance going forward. So that would be my
Anyway,
motion.
we have a motion and a second.
Yes.
So,
For the
yes,
A and R.
yes, for the A and R. So open to a vote.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And we got, you gave your vote.
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. And Jane Gleason, aye. So we've got a vote of 401
Right.
Correct.
to approve.
Okay, thank you.
But please appreciate our conundrum.
I understand.
And nothing against you at all.
No, I know, I don't take it personally.
Thank you for coming back before us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate the time. Thank you. Good night.
You as well.
The definition of parking lot. And there's
Because
different
case law
legal
is,
counsel from different
case law
areas
is
in the
case
state.
specific.
And what was the other one? Perpetuity. You know, people come to subdivision and they subdivide it, come back 2 weeks later and subdivide it again. Perpetuity means forever, it doesn't change. If it's on the print, that's the way it lives.
We had a long discussion
Can you move forward?
Can we keep
still-
going?
we
Yeah.
still
All right,
continue on.
we're moving along here. Item 3, 26-13, 40 Great Neck Road, an A and R application. And if you would state your name, spell it, and then I'll swear you in.
Brian Grady, GAF Engineering, GRADY.
And would you raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. I believe that we have.
But it wasn't available.
I have the small version.
I have a small version.
Because I couldn't find it in open.gov, so
Oh,
where,
no, it
Yeah.
got, Josh sent it out.
This is
by
one of the
email.
ones
It was
I
one of the
missed. Okay,
attachments
all right.
that Josh sent.
All right.
Here's a large
Thank
version. It has frontage and it has access.
Do you need anything else?
I'll entertain a motion.
well, no, you can make your presentation.
You can explain.
You could lead with that, though.
All right, so this is a revision to an A&R that this board previously approved, endorsed, and actually it's been recorded at the Registry of Deeds. But we're making a small revision to the lot being created. The lot being created does have sufficient frontage area, meets zoning in all aspects, and the remaining land also meets frontage and area and zoning compliance on all other aspects. So we just need to have this approved and get this recorded as well to modify the previous plan.
I move that we find this application as an approval not required.
Second.
Just, you can have discussion. Go ahead.
Quick comment, I need to abstain on this one. Appears I'm in a butter.
Oh, okay. You could still call the vote.
Yes, I can call the vote. Are there any other comments? I will entertain a vote then.
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason abstaining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
4-0-1.
That was straightforward, thank you.
Who seconded that one? Sorry, I missed it.
Who seconded it?
Sam
Thank
did.
you.
Yeah, I made the motion, so.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along, item 4, 25-10, 6 Recovery Road, here for site plan review, minor modification. And if you would state your name and spell it.
Bob Rogers, Rogers,
And-
GAF Engineering, on behalf of Conserve Group.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do,
Thank you.
I do. I put together just a two-plan little highlight, if it would help people.
Sure.
If I get Sam to-
Yep, not at all.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Really.
Jen, one more. Okay.
So, provided a full revised set of plans and a cover letter. Basically, after approval and subsequent to submission for the building permit, an issue came up regarding the height of the walls being a structure and creating a setback issue. But more importantly, there was a desire to value engineer the project. So what I gave you was the first sheet of sheet 5 highlights the approved configuration of the retaining walls. And then the second sheet, I highlighted the plan with the removal of the retaining walls and the addition of 2 pea-stone egress paths from the back of the buildings to get out to Recovery Road. So essentially, the design firm, Conserve Group, and the owner got together, looked at the total cost for the project, and they felt that they could use the foundation walls for the proposed buildings to transition the grades from the street to the back of the site and save about $100,000. And so that is the primary purpose for this. The retaining walls, it provided a nice consistent grade for 3 or 4 feet around the back of the buildings and for the short distance on the sides. But the result of the requested change is a little bit less impervious. It does create some grading up against the back of the buildings and along the side where the retaining walls were removed. But that's only going to be a little inconvenient, should there be the need for future maintenance from the outside to those sides of the building. So I had met with Josh prior to this request. I also met with Christine Santos regarding conservation. So we don't need to go back to conservation because this represents less work than what was approved. And we're asking the planning board to approve these as a minor change, which would not rise to the level of a new public hearing. So it doesn't, that's the sum total of it, and I'll just answer any questions.
So I guess the first question is whether the board believes this to be a minor modification.
Can I hold on that till we have some questions answered?
Put the hangers on first, all the way down.
So, Mr. Rogers or Mr. Faraday or Mr. Cordero, what does this do to the stormwater plan we had?
So this makes no change to the drainage design or the drainage calculations, except it's a slight positive with a reduction in impervious area. So the drainage patterns are all the same. It's just a little bit better, a little bit less runoff. So, in my opinion.
Do you guys concur?
So I would concur. It appears, looking at it very quickly now, behind Building 2, which is the building on the left where they've eliminated the retaining wall, there's a little more slope that now drains directly towards the wetland area, but I wouldn't treat that as a major change to the plans. I wouldn't even really address it as a concern to the stormwater management on this site.
That would be the only thing I saw
the
with
same
this plan
question.
would be stormwater.
Right. I had the same question, so yes, agreed.
Madam
Make a
Chair,
motion, we consider this a minor
I'm not done yet.
Okay, Carl, I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, through you to the town planner, Mr. Farady, are you recommending this as a minor modification for the record?
Yeah, I would say that's adequate. In your determination of a minor modification, if you so choose to vote it that way, I would just ask that the new plans be specified, and I'll write a letter for the file to say, these are the new plans, and we'll get them into the file.
Yeah, because as I read your recommendation, I didn't think if you had determined it to be minor, it didn't have to come to us.
I think when you were looking at totally separate conversation, they just came in as the same email. And we'll have that discussion.
Okay,
Yeah, this, you were looking at this.
yes.
Yeah, no, I think those are two
And
separate
so,
things.
just again, because I had to explain to the client, but, so there's a differentiation in the site plan review that if a change occurs during the construction period, then he has the full authority to, okay, we're building it, we found something that needs to be rectified. Josh, what do we do? We're in construction. He has full authority to.
That's what I thought, yes.
Right,
yeah.
but so since this got hitched up in the building permit application process, we're properly in front of you.
Yes.
And I believe properly asking.
So you're not under
DEP.
construction yet, is what you're saying?
Correct, we're not.
Right.
That you're in
So-
the building permit?
We're obligated to seek the permission from the board.
Right.
Thank you.
Versus unseen field conditions,
Right.
which, yeah.
So, right, this is
understood.
value engineering
Yeah,
versus
got it.
unseen
Yeah.
field
Okay.
conditions.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
Done?
Now I had my two questions here.
Make a motion, we consider it a minor modification.
Second,
All in favor?
Baptiste, aye.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye. So now that we've agreed that it's a minor modification, do we need to vote to approve it?
No.
No?
Josh can just sign a
Josh can
minor,
sign
you
it.
can sign a
Right.
minor
Very good.
modification, right?
Yep, I can, yep.
Yeah, we
I can
just
take care of
need
that.
his letter to
Right.
go with the.
We don't have to do Mylars or any, no, I'm summarizing, but yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We do need to sign
Okay,
Mylars.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Item 5, Bay Point bond reduction. Good evening. If I could have you.
Robert Gaffney for Stone Street Corp.
And could you spell your name?
Gaffney.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
do.
Thank you.
Phase 2 bond reduction. Alan and Major, I believe, sent the report into the board.
Yes.
So, thank you. Madam Chair, just a clarification. Mr. Gaffney, I believe I remembered last time said Phase 2 bond reduction. I remembered it as such. Pre-agenda review, I understood that you were considering it was Phase 2 and Phase 3 bond reduction.
Ja-
So
are
what
you-
are
I think
we,
Phase 2, there's a surety bond, not cash on. So Phase 2 is a bond reduction. I think it's around 160 or whatever it is.
you're looking money back, but you're
So
looking.
Phase 3, what I'm looking for, and I don't know if it's on the agenda, is to not have to renew the surety bond because all the work's done based on the report, and I'm waiting on as-built from Riverhawk.
That's two different.
Different
Understood?
things.
I got
No,
you.
no, but
So
but
Phase
I
2.
was confused.
Okay.
So we're only discussing the surety reduction for
Phase 2.
Phase 2.
Phase 2, okay.
We are not discussing Phase 3.
At this time, anyway.
Because the as-bills are not complete.
Understood?
Okay.
Are the as-bills complete for Phase 2? That was a question for the last time, right? Phase 2.
As far as I know, 2 is done, but 3 is not, so.
I'm
just-
only,
yeah.
from
Yeah,
now
yeah.
on, the only thing I'm talking about
No,
is.
I'm
Phase
with you, yeah.
So Phil, you got the as-bills this time? Good.
Sorry, I was writing. You got the as-bills for Phase 3?
2.
Two.
I'm
Phase 2.
only talking about
Okay,
Phase 2.
got
We-
it. Sorry, I was
Just
writing.
speaking regarding Phase 2.
Got it.
we have-
Okay, very good. Thank you. And my read of the letter from Allen and Major is that there's a bond with a value of 221,543 for Phase 2.
Correct.
And that's the remaining amount? The original amount was higher than that?
You've done a few reductions, yes.
Yes, right. And so Phil's review revealed that he thought that the recommended value of remaining work was 55,602,
That's correct, Madam Chair.
meaning that up for discussion is 165,941 being released. Carl, you had a question
Yeah, so
about,
Paul was, and I couldn't find it again, but I believe there was a clause in the subdivision rules and regulations that for roads, we held 15% until everything was done, or I can't remember what, but I couldn't find it, so I asked if Mr. Cudero or, could anybody find that except me?
I could not.
I looked again,
No,
so
I didn't find it either.
I wanted to make sure that, so I withdraw that concern because
Okay.
I can't find it.
okay.
I'll probably find it when I walk out.
I didn't see it, though. That's
It could have been I went through so many,
iteration.
well, yeah, we were rewriting these over and over again with, Sam and I had a subcommittee. I could be an old version that I had laying around, so.
Just, Carl, member Carl, through the chairwoman, a way you could allay your fear is clearly the language that you were purporting to find was based on holding additional monies until the road is conveyed to the town.
Right.
As we know, it's very unlikely these roads will be conveyed to
Ever.
the town, ever.
So we would hold that money forever.
Correct, so.
We don't want that.
So to obfuscate that language, should it pop up, you may want to ask or confirm with the applicant that it's their understanding, do not solicit for roadway exception, and then, roadway acceptance, excuse me, and then that holdback may no longer be material, if it exists.
Right.
Thank you.
The homeowners association is in control and ownership of anything that happens inside the development. So
However, we've been sitting here for 6 years, and every single homeowner association comes back and says, why won't the town take our road?
There's
To
no
the
reason
point
why they won't.
that we are, right now, we are saying that to every applicant, not in your
Don't-
lifetime, no
don't
matter how
expect
old
it.
you are. Yeah, right.
Not expect.
Not all of us agree with that.
I reside in a development in Middleborough, Massachusetts. The exact same thing's going on, and everybody's asking, why can't we get trash and plowing and all that? Because that's the way it was set up, so
Can't afford
we're
it.
well aware of it.
Yeah, and that's going to be in the deed restriction and all of those things.
Understood.
Yep. So my objection or confusion about the Plan D, I move that we authorize the amounts, assuming the applicant doesn't want to challenge that, that Mr. Cordero recommended.
I do not.
Second.
Any other discussion? I don't see anybody in the audience looking to comment. So, all in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
This,
I know it's been frustrating.
no, I have gotten, I can't tell you how many emails I've gotten since you were here last about they haven't fixed this, that, and the other thing, and I patiently listen and remind them that that's not a planning board issue, but we care. We care. But procedurally, I think that the work has been done and we need to release it.
So that's an aye.
yes, that's an aye, yes.
Aye.
Aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you, you
You also,
too.
thank you.
Wish there was a way.
Okay, next item is item 6, is the Serpent appointment. And Julie has been our Serpent.
I don't mind serving, continuing to serve.
I nominate Julie Moran.
Are you sure?
You want to?
Second.
All in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Julie, you gonna vote for yourself?
Aye.
Jane
Aye, aye.
Gleason, aye. Okay.
Try and make it, gotta try and make it easy.
To it.
Yeah.
Okay, item 7, 53G accounts.
Gonna try and make this easy.
Okay.
I make a motion to release all funds from the 53G account for projects that have been completed. Period.
That's pretty simple.
I got two more.
With no discussion, record, information?
Carl,
That was my question.
no.
No.
I've spent 2 years on it. I'm done.
I don't think it's our job. Okay. You have a motion?
I need a second.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Yep.
Under one condition, that you stay on for perpetuity to take you to 53 accounts.
I've done my time.
All in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Carl Schultz, no, I don't believe that we had the information, the record. It's not our responsibility. And I think,
It's our responsibility to release funds and only projects that have been complete.
I said, I don't think so. I respectfully
Okay.
disagree. I heard what you said. I appreciate it. And this in no way minimizes the level of work that you've done. And I
Correct.
appreciate it. So I still vote no.
Okay.
My vote is conditional because I would like town council to review what Sam has so diligently put together
He has.
and opine
Do
to
we have a
us,
written-
yes, and provide a
Did
written
he approve it in
direction to
as
the planning
form?
board as to how we should distribute the funds and to whom, and give us the process, and approve the process. So, that's and nothing, acknowledging all of your good work, Sam, let's ask our town council to give us a confirmation of our action. That's,
Madam Chair, if I may, the way we distribute the funds they are distributed to the person that provides us the check in the beginning, along with a W-9. So we go back to what was originally collected at the beginning, and we distribute it back to that entity that gave it to us. That is the mechanism for giving it back. Now, some of these projects are 30 years old. It's possible that those entities do no longer exist. And then it turns into that, like, find my mass money pool, and they can go after the state to recoup those funds.
yeah, it's called an interpleader action.
So my-
And that's
my-
what I would like him to confirm. We may deposit in court via an interpleader action. And therefore, we step back and we are no longer
Can
responsible.
you amend the motion to say that?
Sure.
So
That,
Sam
motion.
would need to
Oh,
amend the motion.
whatever I just said.
So I've met with council and he said everything that everybody said, but he said you have to do this first to start the process. That's what, he said if you need it in writing, I'm fine with that. I met with him multiple times and there is a process which we've discussed. But what the council told me was you need to do this first to know where we are, who's left, the amount, the people. That's, if you need it in writing, that's fine by me.
But that is what town council advised you.
Yep.
Sam. Okay.
If you need it in writing, that's fine. I just want to get this done.
I think it would be helpful to all of us, including yourself, that we act on the advice of council. And I'm glad, thank you as usual, Sam, for reaching out and getting an answer.
Yeah.
So,
So now we're back into discussion. Who's going to execute, assume we get the letter, who's going to do all the work that Julie just described?
well, I
Is that
think
you?
it's
Is that you
a,
gonna do that?
No.
no, but
But then who?
It's in accounting. They have the form. They have the accounts in Rockland Trust by the original name, the amount, interest they receive every month.
We never got the answer to my question as to why did it get to this point and who So I have no faith that accounting is going to do anything different than they've done all along.
What they've done is nothing. I'm telling
Well-
them to do something, and nobody's done that. There are many of them that have been gone to the planning board, been approved, and nothing's been done. My next motion is to try to rectify that.
Sure. Well, town council has advised us what to do, which is send out the letter to the last person, last and usual address. If it comes back undeliverable, or the check is not cashed, then the impression I get from you is we would file an interpleader action
Yes.
in court, deposit the money, and then we withdraw, and the court then does the research, identifies who may be entitled to the money and notifies
But
them.
who's going to fund Rich doing those filings in court?
Not us,
Not us.
the town.
Is the money there for, is he going to do it?
He's on retainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can't bring the action.
I
No,
understand.
basically-
I am frustrated.
I know.
Sam is doing the right thing.
Yes, for sure.
There's a lot of money there, and we've got to do something. And according to council, this is the only step we have to take. After that, we're done. People who deserve their money, they're still around, still alive, still in business. And the other ones, there's a system that we will start that we're done with it.
Did we
Accounting's
already-
the-
Did the planning board in past vote on every one of these
Yep.
closed applications?
Yep.
Then we shouldn't have to vote again.
No, those are, I already took care of those last time we did this. The last time we had this, I did the easy ones,
Why are these closed but no action taken?
The
30 years ago.
The planning board simply taking the vote that the project is complete doesn't give our accounting department enough authority to release the funds.
So
The
what's changing today?
the fact that you are voting to release funds. At some point, you guys looked at it as built and you said, yes, we all agree that this project is complete, right?
So you're
What-
saying we
what the
didn't say
accounting
release
dep-
funds?
What the accounting department looks for is a vote from the planning board to actually release the funds. So what I'll
What
do,
we're doing today, just telling the,
Yep.
right,
so if Sam will restate his memo, that
Do you want Julie's amendment?
well, that you can come, but I'm looking for a statement that clarifies what we're actually doing. We are, for projects that are closed,
My statement was, please release all funds from the 53 accounts that for projects that have been completed, period. And if
And
you
we're
want
not
to,
gonna
if you
say-
want to amend it, that's fine.
no, I want to, we're talking through what we're actually voting on, because I don't want to be on the hook for really, so I haven't seen the list of accounts. We should have those in the record. That we're saying, these are the 53 account, you said 53?
53G.
53G
That's
account.
not the quantity.
Oh, how many accounts are we talking about? And how much money are we talking
I
about?
didn't, monies, about $350,000.
See, I think the record should have that in the record. We're only these accounts, and then we can add Julie's amendment. But I haven't seen advice of counsel.
Amend it?
Yeah, and my amendment would be more generic. To the extent the party to whom we have sent the money is not found or fails to cash or cash the check, we would then seek and obtain a written direction from town council as to how to deal with these accounts.
But we're out of it. Why would we
Yeah,
get the
not
direction?
we, the town, I guess, if you want to say
But then
that.
we would have no way to close the loop on that or verify that that happened
Oh.
or.
If we do this,
Yeah,
we're done.
right.
Attorney said, you're not an investigation committee. We don't have to find anybody. We don't have
And-
to do anything.
Then I guess I would amend it, say, and that we leave it to town council as to how undistributed funds will be handled. How about that? Like that better? Yes. And he can decide how, or he can decide the town, he can opine to the town what they need to do next, but it's gone from our
So I will.
our responsibility.
I'm going to change my vote, and I'm going to give I'm going to vote yes, with the understanding that the town planner has certified that these projects are all closed, and that we get the list attached to the minutes of which accounts were taught, which they've all been completely and properly closed,
What the account is and what the amount is.
what the account is and what the amount is, then, and with Julie's understanding that we're relying on the town to execute the process, and we're done.
Right.
So I will vote yes with that understanding.
That's fine with me.
Carl, your vote? Oh, Julie, your vote.
Oh, aye.
Aye.
And chair votes aye.
Two more quick things. In starting this project, I went from department to department and said, okay, what's the process? And nobody knew the process. I like to have the planning board have the ability to know how to go through this process in the future. I mean, accounting says over here, everybody had a different direction, that person, this person. I'd like to get a policy so we know.
Didn't you answer that already? All we need to do is, when we vote that the project is complete, take a second vote to release the funds, and we're out of it.
Where's that information come from?
What information?
What's in the 53G, you mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, at that point, we know we're talking about project 1225. We had the review. We voted that it was complete. We released all the surety. Second vote would be to release the funds in the 53G account. We, I don't know whether we release it or what the right language is, but that's it. We're just saying.
I'm kind of fine with that. We're out of the
I
dark.
don't care how the town does it.
Okay. All right. I will withdraw that more. I didn't even make it. To your point, should we, my idea was get an accounting of 53G accounts January 1st and July 1st, just so we can keep up so we don't get the darn mess that we're in. So we can say, why didn't you do this? Why is it gone?
We are not allowed to oversee the administration function of the town.
I'm checking on planning board 53 accounts.
I don't disagree with the process. A concern I would bring up to the board is, let's say you get an as-built. Phil has reviewed and signed off on it. There's, let's say, at the time of that hearing where you're voting on, is it complete? Let's say there's $600 left in the account. I may not see a invoice from Phil, maybe 30 days, somewhere in that time frame. So I think there should be an understanding that if you are taking the vote at the meeting, I'm going to wait to release the remainder of the funds until I can certify that we've paid
So
Phil
then our
in its
motion would
entirety.
be that we authorize the town planner to release the funds when he
All
or
invoices
she-
have been paid.
that all of the invoices have flowed through.
Yeah.
But I'm trying, which has been the discussion we've had all along, we are not the administrative arm of the town. We do not have that authority. We do not have that responsibility. But when we clarified it, all we're voting on was this project was closed, and we're authorizing the town that we're releasing all interest in the 53G
I
account.
don't disagree, but I don't want to get in this situation again.
I do not want the planning board. The planning board is not an administrative function. We do not have authority.
We just administered a vote to release funds. That's administration.
No. You told me that we had to take that vote when it was done. I accepted that, but we're not making sure that it gets done.
Yeah.
If that's part of the vote, then I have to go back and say, no, I do not think the planning board should be in the business of overseeing the accounting office.
Yeah, I think our role is to confirm that the project's complete and direct the town to release the money. That's it.
That they can release the money.
Yes, right, yes. So, and whatever flows from there, I think,
So what if they
is
don't?
not our responsibility. It's
That-
still not our responsibility.
That we don't have that
Yeah.
authority. Derek is the
Well,
chief
and what
administrator.
what Mass General Law says is the 53G account is set up by the treasurer. So, to my mind, that is once we sign off, the burden and the onus is on the treasurer,
Yeah, we can
accountant in this
offer our-
case, to take care of it.
We can offer our recommendation,
53G
but
is
we're
very
not the
clear.
ones, we're not the ones signing the checks.
You guys have convinced me is we just have to, the
Yep.
town is looking for us to clearly communicate
Right.
that we've released our interest.
And that's what we're
That's
talking about
And
here.
that's what we're,
End of
we
the-
maybe
yeah.
we get, that's all we're doing.
It's their-
The
it's
planning
their-
board has released its interest. Go do what you want.
I don't disagree, but it's not done in the past.
And I'm not challenging, we're talking across purposes.
Yeah.
We don't have the authority, and Derek gets rightly upset when boards like ourselves try and get involved in the
Sure.
administration.
Okay, you convinced me. That's
But he
correct.
has to accept, he's probably gonna look to us to, he doesn't follow the machinations of the planning board and our
but
projects.
I think we're
So
directing the.
He's looking to us for a recommendation about what to do, so that's what we're giving.
Yeah.
Who is? Derek is,
Or the
No.
treasurer.
So to give you an idea of the back end of this whole process, right? If you voted to release a 53G fund today, let's call it One Main
we
Street.
just did.
Let's do a hypothetical.
Yeah.
One Main Street had a project, they're done with their project, you guys certify it's complete, you're ready to release funds. Historically, I think the expectation was they would put in a request to the town or to the planning board to say, hey, we believe we're done, would you please release our 53G funds? Now, based on the list that I have, it's very evident that not everyone knew that either one, these funds existed. Maybe they gave you the check in the beginning and said, that's money spent for the review of the project and I'll never see a single dime of it ever again. Maybe they weren't aware that there is money entitled to them at some point. Or, maybe these entities no longer exist and there's no one actually able to request the funds. On my end, when you guys vote to release an account, what I do is I put the release into the accounting department. I will give them the fund number that's being released. I will give them a copy of the W-9 that we originally took in at time of application. And I will give them the vote of the planning board. And I normally do that with a set of minutes. So I'll
Which is
attach
a-
the minutes right to the request to the
So
town
I'm
accountant.
Which is our
fully supportive-
recommendation to
Which
release.
is fully supportive of that process, but the follow-up to make sure it happens, I think, is just,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we and the planning office have met their responsibilities. Listening to the process.
Yeah.
so with that understanding, for these closed projects,
Done.
with the planning office's recommendation that historically these projects have been closed, and whatever authorization to release the board's interest in those funds, whatever that was, didn't happen, I support doing that, which is your motion.
Yep.
I voted yes.
We're done. I have no more motions.
Okay,
I'm not going to,
We already voted.
I'm done.
to approve.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Let's move
Okay.
forward.
Moving on.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for all your hard work,
Yes.
Sam.
Thank you. Item 8, 25-12, 2 East Boulevard, site plan review.
Evening.
Evening.
Good evening again.
How you doing?
Good, doing good. Bill Madden from GAF Engineering here on behalf of, who are we, 2 East Boulevard LLC.
Try to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you.
John Cornish, 2 East Boulevard.
Mike Cornish, 2 East Boulevard LLC.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, before we begin, through you to Mr. Madden. So, you remember Henry Fonda and the old GAF? You don't remember those advertisements. GAF was a huge,
Shingle Company.
well, chemical.
Oh, they did all kinds of things, yeah.
I just, because you were very precise, GAF. Henry Fonda always said it as GAF in his commercials. I thought you were old enough to remember.
Probably am.
But maybe it's the old enough and remember, those two things are working at odds.
Yeah, yeah.
That seems to happen for me.
Okay, so the reason we came here, I wasn't really planning to come here tonight, but when we received a copy of the agenda, we saw that we were on here, and I know that at the last meeting that we attended, the public hearing portion of the process was concluded and closed. And I think it was probably a little later in the evening at that time, and I think we all just left the meeting and didn't really have too much of a detailed discussion over really what the next steps are. And I know that the Cornishes are anxious to, to start doing some renovation work at number 2. They're not able to do so. The building commissioner will not issue building permits until we resolve this issue. We know that the planning board will typically write a set of conditions for the project, go over them at a meeting and,
That's what we're doing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so were we prepared to do that tonight, talk about conditions, or?
So I have a draft here of project-specific conditions. We also have, we've been working on getting together a list of standard conditions, which are, I don't think there are any surprises there. We're still working on those.
Yep.
But I do have project-specific conditions that I can give you a copy of.
And I do believe at the end, we had discussed, you were invited to submit conditions if you had any comment on them. We had a brief exchange, I think, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
I read them, I was okay with them. So we're going to add these to the standard conditions as well?
Well,
Yeah.
these are for this project.
Yes, but the standard conditions
Correct.
will apply
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
for sure.
So you-
And I'll wait till our folks here have read what, and I just had a few more to consider.
Okay.
But
So
I'll
these
let
are
you-
essentially the special conditions for the, specific to the project, where the other conditions that you speak of are the boilerplate standard conditions.
Yeah,
That we
exactly.
would typically receive on
Yeah.
any job.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think they're pretty much what we have talked about.
Madam Chair, just to clarify, and Mr. Madden pointed out, it says continued public hearings, but this is not
A public hearing.
No, it's not.
Correct.
So the first one was the yield sign and the crosswalk. Just, if I were the road commissioners, I would not be so happy if I saw you out there painting on the street with signage. So I think it should be run by them. And then maintenance of it was in question, and, whether that gets taken on by the municipal maintenance or not. If they don't take it on, it's got to be maintained, so that would fall on the property owner. The second one was about the multiple paving surface materials that we talked about. And does release you from having to repeat or, follow through with the material being the same as the berms. Then the third one was about the fencing, and this was in response to the neighbor who came before us. And allows that fencing installation to be put off until the neighbor asks for it to be put up. That seemed like a reasonable resolution of that situation.
So we could be a little proactive in that, and getting a piece of paper from the the neighbor to the north asking for the fence and
Right,
present it to...
or not asking for it. He
May say-
Have him do it
indicated
directly.
that
May say
he
he
did
doesn't
not
want it.
want it, so.
Madam Chair, on this very point, are we saying the property owner today, or are we saying the property owner, whoever it might be? Does it?
Whoever it might be.
So it's not just the gentleman who came, it goes with the
Because
land.
there's
No,
a-
that's,
yeah, that
but I
there's a-
wanted to
With the
be
land.
that,
Yeah,
to be clear. It's,
There may be a property owner in the future who wants it there.
yes, that was
And they have the
my,
ability to ask for it.
yes, that was how I read it, but
Yes,
we were
that's the
then-
intent.
But then we started talking about the gentleman who was here.
Well, because
He was.
came before us and he said, I really don't want the fence, so I
You
don't want to.
clarified it.
because of
but-
the views. He wants.
Right, I don't want to be in the position of saying, we're going to protect you no matter what you want.
But it is any property owner in the future, which is
Yes.
kind of open-ended. and
It is pretty open-ended.
We do that?
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
the decision, well,
I
it's
don't
going to
know.
be,
This is very odd.
it's going to be recorded.
I knew that when I
so
wrote it, but I thought, how do we respond to,
I read it, I was confused.
It's a covenant in some respects, so it will be recorded with the decision.
With the property, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's there. If we
Okay,
properly
if
word
You're
it.
going as far as
Can I ask a
recording
question to
it.
that?
yeah,
Madam Chair, one of the stipulations in the zoning bylaws or what have you was either plantings or a fence,
right.
not both, right? So
Well,
if the
you had
plantings
both
are-
on your drawings, and that
Yes.
got presented, and that was why that was where this came from.
Yeah, and I understand that completely. I guess my only thought with respect to number 3 is we know the current resident doesn't want a fence.
Right.
If the next resident says, hey, I want a fence, and it's your responsibility, but we already have our buffer and all our shrubbery and da-da-da-da-da,
The site plan review can go beyond. This is a site plan review, this is not a zoning. This is working together with you guys to fit it into the neighborhood.
sure.
And that's what that clause is.
Okay.
So, yes, I appreciate, you're exactly right for the zoning aspect, but this is the site plan review.
And this, I know that this is an unorthodox way of going about this, so,
Yeah, I just wanted to understand it.
that's why it
completely.
says draft on it.
It's also precedent setting. Yeah,
We've made all kinds of conditions about buffers and in site plan review,
but
and
not like this.
Well, it's also acknowledging the abutter and their challenges, and whether doesn't want to block the view right now, or any of that, so it's accommodating, I think, an abutter.
Well, it's a unique situation.
Yeah.
You're going to run to them quite a bit in a place like Onset.
Yeah. it's
And
very
which is-
much-
which is what site plan review is supposed to take into account,
Yeah, right.
unique situations of the project. I think that's the intent.
Well, while we're having comments, may I speak about the number 1, the yield?
Yep,
It was brought to my attention by the same guy that was here last meeting, the neighbor, that there really isn't a yield situation. We've got a one-way coming into a two-way road. So there is no yield per se.
there is, isn't it two East Boulevard two-way,
Yeah,
the whole way?
yep, the whole way down.
So in theory, they are yielding to someone, if.
Someone coming
If
head on,
someone's coming this way,
Other way.
they'd be in their lane though.
and there's someone coming this way, then they've got to yield to this traffic.
Yeah, okay. Well, they'd be in their lane though, they'd be in the wrong lane. They'd be,
If they're coming this way, they're going
No.
this way?
East Boulevard is what you're asking to yield, right?
No,
You're asking, okay, you're asking
11th.
11th, okay, all right.
yeah, it's 11th that's yielding. And we put that sign, we agreed that that was the place to put it, so that, if somebody was zipping into one of those 3 parking spaces, that
Cutting across.
that's why the yield is back as far as it is.
Okay, fine, thank you.
And the reason, I think I stated the reason for, I think, going to the road commissioners makes sense. If I were road commissioners and someone's out there painting signs on the street, I'd be like, excuse me?
Yeah, right.
So,
These are all town roads, right, that we determined that, right?
They are.
yeah. And then item 4 was about trading out the evergreen plantings, which are 7 to 8 foot tall Leyland cypress with smaller shrubs. Again, responding to the neighbor, but leaving in the maple trees, which potentially, once they grow, will be a trunk down low, so they won't be blocking a view or wind or any of that, but providing shade nonetheless. And then the last one was the planter at the corner of Ocean and East Boulevard, and just specifying the height, that it should be not just curb height.
Yeah, okay, we understand your request to have the thing a little bit higher than curb height. I want to say that I thought we were looking at something order of magnitude of 12 inch. You're pretty,
Well, the height that I've got here, thinking that if you wanted to get anything like a tree in that planter, you'd want
sufficient plant
sufficient
material,
soil.
soil and what have you
Right,
to allow
right.
it
And
to
if-
grow. Okay.
Again, if you did something like a little maple, you could limit down low so that you can see
Mhm.
underneath it. But you'd need enough soil to be able to do that. And wanting to make it so that it's not hard to see when you're in a car, which I think 12 inches might be more difficult to see.
Yeah, I think you might be a little more likely to be driven over, on, or
Yeah.
through, whatever.
Yeah.
And 18 to 30 is a little more substantial.
Yeah, well, that's the
I
intent.
think we understand that.
Yeah, I would just like to be able to put it with the grade. If the grade is going like this, I'd like the whatever the surface is to go with the grade that's there too. So we wouldn't want it square, we'd want it to go with whatever, if the
Sloping, you mean the
The
top
slope-
of it
the slope of the
sloping
road.
with the roadway grade, but maintaining the 18
Yeah,
inches
yes.
above the roadway. So if the road is sloping,
Yeah, you're sloping to, yeah. I don't think
It
that's
may
a problem.
be-
It's, if it's,
But when we look at it a little more closely, we'll be able to make a better determination as to how that would look, whether
Yeah.
it does need to be sloping, if it should be sloping
Yeah.
aesthetically, then that would be the way to do it. If it looks better, if it was a planter-esque type of situation where it'd be higher on one end than the other because it's setting on the surface of the ground.
Yeah.
We could always have a discussion with the planner
Yeah.
on things such as this before they get installed.
I think that
Field
sounds
conditions.
reasonable. Yeah, field conditions. So,
Okay, all right,
Anyway.
I get it.
that was the thinking.
Is that yours?
Now I better understand. Michael just described to me what you were saying. That's
Okay.
why I bring him.
A drill plan.
Good, good.
This is the as-built.
That's fine.
Madam Chair, I have a few as well. May I?
Yes.
Yes. Parking attendants. And we had talked about parking attendants will be there during business hours. I would just like to add that as a condition to make sure I know that you felt very confident that your parking attendants really will be able to oversee all of this. So that's what I would ask.
Well, there's a real, I'm sorry, may I speak?
Yeah.
Yes,
There's a real seasonality to all this stuff.
Just going to say that.
Sure,
yeah, I was too.
yeah.
So
I was just
this
going
will-
to say
this-
that. You can't
Yeah.
have a person out there in January.
No, for sure. So do we
Memorial Day.
talk about, Memorial Day to Labor
Labor
Day,
Day.
something like that, when presumably that's the high period?
So I understand why you're saying that. If there's a need, we're going to have it there. Because if we don't, there's absolutely no way of keeping all the different other businesses, customers out of our spots and beachgoers out of our spots. So if there's a need at all, there'll be a person there.
That's key. This is not public parking.
Right.
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 And it gets
That's
abused.
understood.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, so,
understand that.
so the
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
that it's not public parking, they're gonna wanna police their
Absolutely.
parking.
So your feeling is we don't need that?
I think we might not.
Okay.
I'm
well,
thinking that because you're
hope.
trying to take care of your private property,
If he does it, he loses money.
situation may.
Well, and that's,
Conditions as.
well, that's an expense that someone has to incur. And it's probably gonna be the restaurateur, and he barely can stay open during parts of the year. So,
So the parts of the year when things are
Sure,
popping,
quiet.
he's probably
Yeah,
gonna
and
wanna
parts of
make
the
sure
day.
there's parking spaces for his
lunchtime,
clientele.
you don't need a.
Yeah,
parking
sure,
attendant.
okay.
Could we,
You're comfortable?
could it condition something along the lines as the responsibility,
FaceTime video.
it'll be the responsibility of the owner to,
Police parking.
Yeah, to get some language in there acknowledging that we
attendance.
had discussed
Sure.
attendance. So, yeah.
that might, on an as-need basis, particularly during the summer months. I mean, I think that is the time that,
That's fine. Just a recognition that there may be times. that-
Exactly.
And again, it helps everyone, you all included. And then the other question, we had talked about having employees park off-site, so you're not losing your spaces, but I assume you police that? You have your employees park off-site?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't need to add that, I wouldn't think, so,
Probably not.
okay. And otherwise, I looked at the general conditions, I think, protect us as well. Okay.
Anybody else on the conditions? So we still have a little bit of time before our time limit is up.
Do we need any more work? We've been around and around on this. We can,
Why?
huh?
Why what?
We're done.
Yeah, well, with one exception, and this is where you can all horsewhip me. I had a couple of suggested revisions that I brought to the applicant, because I think with some adjustments, he'll end up, and the neighborhood will end up with a better project. And if I understand correctly, you were,
Wait, are we changing the design now?
I made some I
We
suggested
can't do that.
as a minor modification.
Then that needs to open the whole thing again. If we change the design, it has to go back to public hearing. So we would need to close this, write the
I would
conditions.
like you to see what I was suggesting.
I think it's gonna be wonderful, but you know
No,
me.
I would like you to see what I was suggesting. It is so minor.
Okay, I'll look. We can't make minor modifications to a
Again,
plan.
this is a precedent.
Well, Josh
You
can.
beat
So
me
you
up in
know.
the parking lot afterwards.
No, I'm not gonna beat you up, but we haven't finalized this plan. We can't open it again yet. There is no minor modification.
Oh, we close the hearing, we can vote, and then look at the,
I'll look at it later. I got, yeah.
okay.
So to outline what the changes are, it flips the two parking spaces out at the street so that the handicapped one is closer to 2 East Boulevard. It opens up some walkway from the entrance steps up to the front porch, out to the street, rather than a planting bed. And it enlarges the planter at the intersection and makes a radius so that it flows better with traffic. That's the sum total of the change.
This is a change to the site plan review.
well, why don't we, as a suggestion, why don't we look at what is presented here, see what it really means to the plan. Granted, I understand Carl's position that it is a change, there's no question about it, is a,
I totally agree. Yep.
could be considered a modified change or minor change, but that would, I think, need to be presented after,
Fact. Okay.
after the fact.
All I'm hung up on is procedure.
Yeah, and if-
Exactly.
it's understood. I mean, if we can proceed along that line and keep things in the minor scheme of things, then I think there's likelihood of success that we may be able to achieve the vote that we would be looking for that. But understood what you're saying, and then obviously we'd like to, play with the numbers, how the actual dimensions work out. Just looking at this, seeing the sketch, it's, our plan would be a little bit more detailed with numbers as far as 9 foot 6 inches,
Yeah,
9
this
foot,
was just- this was a
19 and a half,
suggestion.
whatever the.
It's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Not
And honestly, Carl, I'm still trying to figure out how I do things like this. And I'm still trying to figure out the process.
We are not designers. We don't design
I
the
understand that.
project.
But by the same token, it's hard for me to not say something when I see that an improvement could be made with some simple,
I appreciate that you do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
shame on me for
No.
don't-
not understanding the process, I guess.
well, I think there's a way to do it, which is to approve the conditions we just talked about, in general conditions.
that lets
Hearing's
them-
closed.
That lets them move forward.
That's right.
Get a building permit. If
And
we were to take this up,
as a minor
there's
modification.
more, even if we
At
didn't,
the next meeting,
they would want to go back and look at it.
yeah.
Put it aside then. Never mind.
No, no, but I think the process would be, go forward tonight on where we are,
Yep.
and then have them come back next meeting
Because they haven't
with,
really addressed that.
Okay.
with the
But
minor
in order to make a
modification.
modification, we need to
That's what's going
We need to finalize
Yes.
it.
finalize
In
this one.
writing, request it with the updated plan. So
I
if you'll work
honestly
with
was
us,
not
Bill.
certain if we should get it in before we do that or after. So here we
can't.
are.
The problem is we
Okay.
can't because we
Okay.
closed the public hearing.
Right, exactly.
But this is a project that has a lot of interest by, as we know, the whole neighborhood. So to the extent your suggestions are acceptable and we can work through it, I think it just makes for a better project
And then you could
ultimately.
bring, you could
wicked
bring the public back
time-sensitive.
and let them hear
Yes.
about it. and-
Memorial Day is 4 weeks away.
Just keep in
Yeah.
mind,
No, understood.
yeah, that they can proceed,
Right.
look at this, but otherwise proceed with everything they want to do.
They need
And
to.
then come right back and,
Okay, never mind then. We'll bring that up later.
well,
Okay, that's fine with us. I think you understand, there's, you know how the Cornishes are and how they want to maintain their
Yeah.
spaces and what have you.
Yeah.
There's no desire to, skimp on anything. I mean, it's a highly visible location, a lot of people
If you
drive
guys
through it, a
wanna
lot of
wait,
people
we
walk
could-
through it.
You could withdraw the plan and start over again. and-
No.
no, there's no
I'd
need
love to do that, but that'll be another time.
But looking at,
Won't be this
but
job.
looking at this, it's an easy process. It is, let them start with what they can, look at this, and we can all be moving forward at the
Looking
same
at this,
time.
don't make any irrevocable shovel digs and
Yeah. So,
Okay,
I think this is a process that's fine.
so we don't really have anything to vote on,
yeah, no, we need to vote on the
On the-
Conditions.
the conditions, but we don't have the whole document together.
That's okay. We're going to general conditions, and we
Okay.
talked about the
Okay.
conditions.
I think
You
you
said-
vote for your standard conditions,
And
the
the-
special
and the
conditions
special
that James.
conditions.
But you
I
presented,
move that we adopt or we apply the conditions that we reviewed and were drafted to the special conditions, and our standard conditions always apply. So,
Yes.
Second,
yeah, agreed.
Anybody in the audience want to?
we close the public hearing.
not a public hearing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. When do we think it might be recorded at the clerk's office? And the only reason I'm asking is because the 20-day
20.
appeal period is going to,
Start.
it's going to start, but it's also going to hold us back on the building permit a little, and, you know,
Yeah, I think the finalized document should be ready this week. I'll ask the planning board members to come in on Thursday
Sign it, yeah.
to sign it. And I'll have it recorded with the clerk on Thursday.
It's fair enough.
Okay, and then you and Jay can get together on that.
Or we could go back to the old way, and you could hand me a blank piece of paper. That's the way it used to happen.
I can
Trust
print
me.
one out right now. That's
The
what you
trust me
want to do.
thing. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
I hope you get going soon.
Yep, we'll be working through it.
Okay.
Great. Please
4
don't
weeks.
take any of, you need to keep doing it. We just got to.
That's what I'm trying to work my way through how to orchestrate this, because it's not something I'm used to seeing happen.
You need to get him to call you when they come in with the pre-application, so you could be part of the design.
But
We
even-
have a design
even that-
review, we have a design review board.
But even that, I can't do that, like,
I know.
that doesn't come like
I think-
instantly. I need to sit with it for a little while, and
I
it
appreciate
slowly
that, yes.
comes
Well,
like, oh, why don't they do this?
This is,
You're not a problem solver.
this was a very complicated project, still is.
Well, since we're talking about design, we need to be standardized, treat everybody the same way. We can't just do it project by project. We can't do it that way.
Right.
We have to have something in writing, some guidelines.
And we do. They're called the design standards in the bylaws.
In the bylaws, yeah.
But we apply them differently to different projects.
Not supposed to.
I know.
I would say that there's actually an argument that says you can do it specific to project by project under site plan review.
Under site plan review,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean,
Sure.
site plan
Not for
review gives you the
special permit.
discretion to
Respond
condition
to
your
the specific
approval.
project.
Yeah, by project by
We
project.
can apply, and you could jump up and down if I say this wrong. We can apply any reasonable condition to a site plan review that's not arbitrary and capricious, and does not condition the project out of existence.
Correct.
No, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying
Right.
to make it work for the
So-
neighborhood and the applicant.
Which is what I told the gentleman.
Yep.
And this would have been perfect 2 weeks ago.
But,
Or in 2 weeks, I
yeah,
suppose.
Yeah.
so,
I'm still trying to figure out that in 2 weeks ago or in 2 weeks and how it all fits into the process. Because as I said, this is not sort of a standard thing that happens on the projects that we review. And
But
so
because
I'm
most
trying
of
to
the
figure it out.
projects we were doing were special permits. Special permits are rigorous and subject to zoning law. Actually, we always had them coupled. We did site plan review, special permit together, which makes it very confusing. Now, we've really started to separate site plan review as its own thing, which is where you get to go wild with your design.
I'm not here to be a designer.
No, but I meant
If I
your
see
aesthetic.
things,
Bring
I
your
mean-
aesthetic to the town. I'm supporting you.
But if, move it along, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob's being patient.
okay,
Shut up
All right.
and move along.
Sandwich Road,
Item 9, 26-11, 20-22, Long Neck Road, Form C, Broad Cove Path.
And
Sorry, Bob.
Madam Chair, is this another one where I didn't see Mr. Cordero's letter?
there isn't one yet.
There isn't one yet.
You have-
Nope,
have
this
you-
is a
have you opined
presentation.
on
that
this
we're-
yet?
We should be having a presentation tonight.
No, I think it's going to come up. Well, I'll let the applicant speak, and then I can address it.
This is the one where you did the preliminary and then now is the definitive, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
I just want to make sure I'm on the same project that everybody
Normal
else is.
procedure might be someone would read the public advertisement, since this is the first public hearing on the definitive subdivision plans.
On the Form C.
But that's just a suggestion on my part.
I'm sorry, didn't we meet 2 weeks ago on the
You-
definitive?
We submitted to choose this evening.
Oh, okay, we didn't actually open the public
4
hearing.
weeks ago.
Yeah, you brought in the plan to
No,
get the
we-
process started.
No,
but we did-
We read it.
Your bylaw says that Bob come before you to
you're right.
request a date for the definitive subdivision
Yeah,
to be
right.
heard.
So we didn't open the public hearing.
We are opening it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, you're just bringing me forward.
Jane, do you need the ad?
Thank you for clarifying that. I thought we had opened it before.
I have a copy of that somewhere. Do you have a copy?
Okay.
I can go on.
Notice of public hearing. The Wareham Planning Board will hold a public hearing on May 11, 2026 at 6 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Massachusetts, 02571, to consider petition number Plan 26-11 for a definitive subdivision plan of land properly named, quote, Broad Cove Path, unquote, from the requirements of MGL Chapter 41, Section 81O, to Buzzards Bay Coalition, care of GAF Engineering, Inc., 266 Main Street, Wareham, Massachusetts, 02571. Subject property is located at 20-22 Long Neck Road, Wareham, Massachusetts. Assessors map 10, lots 1009A and 1009A-1 in the MR 30 zoning district. The purpose of the subdivision is to divide lot 1010.A-1 into two lots, one for the conservation restricted land and one for the existing dwelling.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Bob Rogers, ROGERS, GAF Engineering, on behalf of the Buzzards Bay Coalition.
If you would raise your right hand, if you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you very much.
Do we need a motion to open the hearing?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Make a motion, we open the hearing.
Second,
All in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Marie and I.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye.
Thank you so much. So I'll be brief. We submitted the plans, the application, copies of the deeds, 3 deeds, the 2 deeds for the property, and then the deed for the wetland reserve easement. We provided a supplemental project narrative based mostly on the language that's in the easement, the filing fees, advertising fees, and we provided consultant review fee for Mr. Cordero. The waiver request letter that's included basically covers all the aspects of construction that we are asking relief from, because, as you know, this is a subdivision that creates a new lot, 1010A2, which entirely contains within it the wetland reserve easement, which you could see on the first page of the subdivision plan. The second page of the subdivision plan are just things to clarify what is physically existing for the access, the grade, a typical cross-section, and so forth. So again, this basically serves to separate the 2 existing single-family homes from the wetland conservation property. And I guess I understand that Mr. Cordero has done a review, so I think I would give maybe most of the time to your interaction with Mr. Cordero and the planner. And certainly, if there's anything I need to chime in, I would do so.
Madam Chair. Oh, I'll wait for you to finish.
Well, so just did anyone, I have, again, some half sizes if anyone would like.
That's okay.
But-
We get all sizes right now.
And I did, I uploaded the green cards. I have the original green cards. We got back about 20 of the 27.
Actually, I'd be happy to have a half size.
Sure.
So, Madam Chair, before we begin taking testimony, this was, at the last session, I had requested an opinion from town council on our ability to grant discretionary waivers. So have we heard back on that?
Discretionary waivers.
We discussed it at the last meeting, and when you made the presentation. I had 2 requests at that meeting, so. So the applicant is requesting waivers.
Yep.
And I wanted a clear ruling on the ability because it's rules and regs, I believe it's not, well, are you requesting waivers? I can't remember.
So, yeah, if you're asking if you have the
April
right
9th letter.
to grant waivers from the subdivision rules and
Rules and regs.
regulations,
Yeah, there were,
that's
but I have to
entirely
go.
up to your purview.
But I wanted a clarification on that. I'll double check, but it was on the record and I did ask for that.
It's
not-
yeah, it's in writing in the subdivision rules and regulations. That's the procedure that we're following.
Okay. And the other question was, and this is to Mr. Cordero, you weren't here, but Mr. Rogers made the preliminary subdivision plan, and I made these comments at that time, and then you came back, and one of the issues that's going to be an issue for me, and I want to walk through this procedurally so that you know as you do your review, is I posited that we should apply the road conditions to the road to this subdivision. That was we've done it in other places. Mr. Rogers respectfully disagreed, and so it's out there, and I'm asking for advice and opinion on how much of those you don't have to tell me today, but I wanted you to know as you do your review. We went through this, you remember, on Silver Shell Lane. There were some other A&Rs.
Seahorse.
Seahorse Lane. And this goes back to earlier discussion, HOAs, future owners wanting the town to take over ownership. We have a lot of really bad roads in town.
There's going to be a whole lot more.
So my thought was we shouldn't build new bad roads, but if the applicant has that latitude, I can't impose more than I can impose, I guess is what I'm saying. But I want to know the wisdom of not building good roads. You don't have to answer today. I wanted to share that was a question that.
Okay, I mean, I'm happy to engage, or we can wait, whichever.
However you want. I just wanted to get that before we started because you weren't at the last session.
So I was here for the preliminary, we'll touch upon very quickly, Mr. Chair, if that's okay?
Yeah.
I was here for the preliminary discussion, but I was not here for the last meeting, the scheduling one for this one. And I know you had voiced your concern about procedurally what this is doing relative to the subdivision. I would start by saying you were seeking clarification. Obviously, I will defer to town council, but I do agree with the applicant in this case. The planning board has the flexibility to grant whatever waivers they believe necessary under the subdivision rules and regulations here of the town. And that can include all of the construction standards of a roadway. So your decision, the board's decision, would be predicated on a determination that Broad Cove Path, as it exists today, is sufficient for access for the use that you are approving, which is solely for these two homes for the access.
Okay, thank you.
So it is my opinion that that's where the review would really go. While we may not agree with the applicant's request to say, I don't really want to build anything here, we could make a statement, the board makes a determination that that path, as it exists today, has been used for many, many years and has no deficiencies that would prevent it from continued use.
Okay, so in your report, if you could address that concern, thank you, and I accept your position. One more point, Madam Chair, and I'll relinquish. Mr. Rogers, the other thing that I had in mind was the other subdivision that you did on Oak Way, where we did apply the road conditions to that single.
Correct, rightly so, because there was going to be a brand-new single-family home that needed that construction to access the home.
The difference is, you're arguing the difference is
that we are
long extant access.
That there's no new homes. That's my argument.
Yeah.
We
this
have
is
a
an
preservation
existing-
subdivision, not a development subdivision.
All right, so thank you. I wanted to make sure that we address that. I didn't necessarily want to resolve it tonight, but we made some progress.
If I could, just while I'm speaking to your point, regarding the review, when the preliminary plan was presented, the applicant is essentially requesting waivers from everything. And the board at that time essentially accepted that and advanced it to the definitive. While I've not reviewed the definitive, I assume those same waivers of constructability exist. Is that?
Yes, yeah, they're all listed in the letter that was submitted as part of them.
I raised all of these objections at that time.
So we have not performed the review as of yet. And I guess the question I would ask the board this evening is if you are considering granting the applicant all of these waivers, then there may not be a need for a review. If they're not constructing a roadway to the standards of the town, there's no need for construction observations during the process because they would actually not be building anything. So it's under that premise that we haven't done any work on this application, so we could have this conversation.
So how do we
How do we narrow that down?
Well, yes, my question is if I don't have your professional, we have Mr. Rogers' professional opinion that it's not detrimental, and if you're agreeing that it doesn't need to be considered, then the board can decide. But we haven't voted. How can we vote to grant waivers until we have a complete review?
So if I may again, so I'm not agreeing with the applicant. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with, I'm completely neutral at this point. I'm simply raising it for the board in terms of what they feel is beneficial to them to render on this application. We can review it or not at the discretion of the board.
Thank you. I'm the only one who's raised these conditions.
Well-
There's 4 other members, so.
But I guess I'm looking at the April 9th letter and looking at the waivers, Phil, and it looks like the waivers, for the most part, deal with the road, the new construction of the road. So if we are agreeing that a new road, upgrade of the road is not required, then a lot of this kind of falls away, correct?
That's what his point.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
And again, typically,
Thanks.
just to lay it out with the subdivision particularly, it is not only the peer review during this process, but it's also the form and inspections that take place during the construction
Right.
that allows them to seek closure on the back end of construction. They're essentially saying, we're not building the road, therefore we don't need the review, nor would we need the observations.
Including stormwater management and design.
Correct.
Again, which is all, it's not new construction, and there's no new road. So therefore, stormwater, in your opinion, that is not really applicable.
I apologize for stepping on your words. There's no alterations to speak of.
All right.
So under that premise, obviously, as you've done in the past, confirm with the applicant that this is essentially a paper street, and it is their responsibility in perpetuity to do anything and everything associated with it, because it doesn't have any of the standards applied to it.
Okay. I just needed clarification on all that. Okay.
So do we want to proceed with the review of these waivers? Is everybody comfortable with them? Has everybody
Well,
reviewed them? Or?
Normally, we don't, this is a very special, we don't normally, normally we have a review, we have several meetings, we have
Yep. Right.
so, am I the only one who's concerned?
Yep.
Well, my concern is that these provisions would generally apply if they were putting a new road in.
Right.
Yes.
On the assumption that we agree a new road is not going to be required, then,
Except it's not a,
90%
it's
of
not a
these
road
disappear.
right now, it's a driveway.
right.
So we're
But that-
converting a driveway to a road. And all the things that you've said, I
Yeah,
accept. but-
right. So therefore, we're waiving them because the premise is not there. So it's definitely a twist on the usual.
And that's why I asked,
Yeah.
I wanted an opinion,
Right.
and Mr. Cordero's opinion is that if we want to, we can.
But I think that Mr. Cordero's any review would be subject to us, wouldn't happen unless we don't accept these waivers.
Yeah, we're sort of at a catch-22.
Correct.
Right, so that's why I was suggesting that maybe we want to review the waivers and make sure everybody's comfortable with them, and then
Sure.
we can
Fine,
relinquish
that's a
Mr.
good-
Cordero.
that's a
Yeah,
good
I think
idea.
one by one, agreed.
Yeah, and then we can decide if we need further review from you, or an initial review from you.
Correct, and Madam Chair, if any, and again, I don't have the application in front of me, let's presume there are 10 waivers. Any one of those waivers, that would be the focus for the review. If there's any one of those that the board has issue with, we would focus the
Then you
review and
would focus
commentary
the
on
review on
that
that.
waiver or waivers.
Or
plural.
waivers, right. Yeah.
If you're going to go through them one by one, I could certainly loan Mr. Cordero my copy, and then I would also just ask you when you felt it was appropriate to ask if there's anyone present or online from the public to comment.
That would be after we get through
After we
this.
get through this.
Well, or it could be before, because then if there is someone online who wants to comment one way or the other, that might impact what you decide for the waivers.
Well, so I guess from my perspective, I would go through these waivers first, and then the audience can
Agreed.
hear what the waivers are. They might not have the paperwork in front of them.
Madam Chair, then procedurally, I'd like to request that we let the applicant present the waivers one at a time.
Right.
We discuss, he defends,
Well,
just present it,
I
and,
think that makes
you know,
sense. Far be it for me to comment on procedure this
no,
evening.
this is not, we're way
I'll
out
just
of,
listen,
we're
it's fine.
way out of procedures.
Clearly, I don't understand procedure.
No,
So sure, I'll just walk you through quickly. It's the April 9th
wonky, it's a
letter.
wonky project. Okay.
And again, it's because we're preserving a piece of land, we have two existing homes that have used this access for many, many years, and we're not, there's no chance of having a new one with this application. So the first one was the dead-end streets at the closed end. You know, it calls for a circular turnaround, and as is in the case with others, so this is what we would call a hammerhead turnaround. And the explanation is, again, in writing, no turnaround cul-de-sac is provided as the plan does not create new building lots. A hammerhead turnaround is provided at the end of Broad Cove Path to provide frontage for the existing house with access of 22 Long Neck Road. And so I would just point out at this time that if anyone's driven down Long Neck Road, it's in rough shape, but it's in decent shape up to the point where you take the left on Broad Cove Path and head towards the driveway for 20 and the driveway for 22. All of the rest of Long Neck Road that would serve currently as the frontage for number 22 is wholly inadequate. So all of that existing layout of Long Neck Road is intraversable, but yet that's the current legal frontage for 22. And so we're replacing it with the best section of constructed gravel road by the overlay of our Broad Cove Path layout. Easements for utilities are required, but we don't have any new proposed utilities because there's no new development.
So just, thank you, we're going, what would be this will help me interpret the waivers. If somebody wants to come and build a new house and needed new roads or how would that's a building permit, that would not come back to us.
I guess my point is,
So what's the process that would go through?
Well, so it's your Form A process is you're deciding that it's not a subdivision, right?
Right.
This is a subdivision because we can't grab frontage on Long Neck Road without interfering with what's already under the wetland reserve easement. No one in good conscience could come before you with a Form A plan and create 150-foot lots along that Long Neck Road layout because it's wholly inadequate as compared to what is currently adequate for the driveway going to number 22, and that's my point. And so all of these...
First thing that would have to happen would be an A&R.
Well, if we did an A and R,
Somebody-
you'd require all kinds of road construction along there.
But what I meant
It's a
is.
hypothetical that's,
Yeah, if somebody were going to build another house, you'd have to change the lot lines to build the house. And an
Correct,
A&R would
correct.
be a way to do that.
yeah, we're only giving newly configured 1010A1 enough frontage on Broad Cove Path. It's only just got the 150 feet.
Right.
You'd be
So-
dealing with an extension and actual road construction.
So we're protected from, we, the board, the town, because if someone were to come in and build that next house, that would trigger all kinds of.
Whole new
other-
Form C application, whole new Form C.
Where then we would be able to require road construction, utilities. Okay,
It's-
that was sort of my question.
Yeah. So again, so catch basins, we don't need new catch basins. The shoulders of the road, again, my explanation, if you have Phil do just a little bit of a review and a letter to confirm what we've said here, the shoulders are adequate. Again, the construction of the road, the pavement, the gravel, street lights, street trees, sidewalks. The monuments, the only relief we're requesting on the monuments is, please don't make us do concrete bounds with drill holes. Let's just put capped rebar at each of those points. Stormwater management and drainage design, there's no construction. We don't want to construct drainage. We don't want to have to do calculations. Right now, it's basically what you see is what you get for stormwater runoff characteristics, utilities. We don't
Is this
need,
house on septic and a well?
Must be.
no, there's water, there's subsurface sewage for both homes, but there's a water, it's municipal water. And then, in the subdivision rules and regs, it talks about the shape factor being a circle. We're slightly modifying the lot that's existing at number 20, which just, it can't fit a circle of 150 feet. So we're just asking for the waiver of showing that.
Not without disturbing the wetland reserve.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, you'd be chasing your tail with foolish construction to accommodate a shape factor circle when there's already a house on the lot.
Right.
And so that's it in a nutshell for me.
Right, but you answered my fear, which is nobody could come in and put another house in without triggering
Subdivision.
all kinds of new reviews.
And all I'll say is, accept the ADU regulation, which is state law.
What
So
would happen if somebody wanted to put an ADU in there?
then they put an ADU in there by the right of state law.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have to worry about roads or utilities or anything?
Well, depending on where they wanted to put it, certainly they would, but it's its own legal lot. There's an
It's an
existing
adjunct
home,
to
it's an
22.
ADU, it's not,
Yeah.
it would fall
Would that
under.
come back and trigger a review of the roads and utilities and sewer?
Not
or
under
no?
state law.
Nope.
No.
Yeah,
Building permit only.
right.
So the buyer beware in that case, or builder beware.
Well,
Or owner
say, if
beware.
you can get all the way to, if you can access that maintenance building now, you can get to number 22.
No, I'm just
Can you put
trying to look
multiple
at,
ADUs?
how many ADUs could they put here?
Well, it's
One
per
by
lot.
right.
One single-family
Just one.
home. Yeah,
Well, one
Oh,
on
because
20,
it's
one on.
tied, not tied to the amount of property, it's
No, it's
tied
tied
to
to
that.
the.
single-family home.
Single family structure.
It's a single, yeah.
And could they build 40B here without our review?
Without your review.
Not your review, right? It would be
ZBA.
the zoning board of appeals.
Yeah.
But
They
so
review.
it would have to go to ZBA and they could enforce roads or
Correct,
utilities or,
correct.
But we're not subject to that anymore,
Right.
at least for the time
We
being.
are currently in safe harbor, yes.
It is
That's
a-
accurate.
It is technically a moving target.
it's asymptotic, but we won't have that discussion.
Bob, what's happening with this building, this house up here?
So, I guess that remains to be seen. So that's an old, it's a metal shop building that was kind of like the Cranberry Bog Maintenance Building. What's going to happen is, the Buzzards Bay Coalition is purchasing the house, purchasing 1010A1 and 1010A2. They're buying that from the current landowners, and then they told me that they're just going to turn around and sell 1010A1 with the house in that building. And then whoever buys it, it's I have no idea what the outcome would be for the house or that building. Just depends on, the Buzzards Bay Coalition, they just want to make that sale to financially, benefit whatever restoration work they want to do on the cranberry bogs and the money that they've spent to get through this process.
Are they going to abandon that bog, or they're going to try to run it?
So the current deeded wetland reserve easement says you can't touch it. But, from past experience, the Buzzards Bay Coalition gets involved in these old abandoned cranberry bogs, and they do restoration plans. So how they're legally going to do that,
But. Restoration, right, not as a bog.
Restore it to a
Right.
bog, restore it
Right.
to natural.
No, similar, I guess I just hear, I've seen what they did in Mattapoisett on Acushnet Road, where they purchased the bogs, they kind of let it go for a while, but then they went in and they, knocked down some of the roads, and they kind of.
The natural flow, because the seeds, some of them stay in the ground for 100 years, it's still good.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's, the restriction got put on in 2021, according to the deed, but I don't know how long they've neglected it since then, but it's just all kind of pine trees growing up in the middle of the bogs right now, and I think they want to do something that's better for the better habitat and better for the water quality.
Land reclamation.
Yeah.
They did a project like that, or the state did, Titmarsh in Plymouth.
What they'll be doing right down here. with the
Yeah,
property
Muddy
that
Cove
they've
near
just-
Muddy, I was at the Conservation Commission meeting.
Beaver Dam,
They just passed out town
just
meeting.
passed at town meeting for CPA money.
Mike, it looks like these bogs have been inactive since 21.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
nothing's been
sure
done
look
on
it.
them.
So
Oh, don't take long for them to go back.
So-
Right.
all of my questions about the waivers have been answered. You can see if there's anybody, or
Yeah,
I'm
is,
happy with all the waivers.
yeah. John, is there anybody online?
There are, no one has raised their hand at this time.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe we could put the question out. Is anybody online interested in speaking?
Nope.
No one's raised their
No
hand.
one has raised their hand.
Okay.
So this could be the quickest.
Josh, Madam Chair, through you to the town clerk, do you see any reason we shouldn't just move forward?
No, I don't think so. Or, sorry, I believe you can move forward. I see no issue.
So you have nothing to offer at this point for us to consider? That's my question.
It is what it is.
That would be correct.
So effectively, this goes back to what I said before. This is the right way to do an A&R for this kind of property, which is what I think the guys on Worrell Avenue need to do, but it's not exact.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is a little bit different. It doesn't fit into your example, if I may.
Okay, all right. I move that we accept what should the motion be, Josh?
I would start with the waivers.
I move that we accept, how many were there, Bob? 12, the 12 waivers that the applicant has requested.
On their letter dated April 9th.
Ninth.
Right.
Do I have a second? Second?
Yep, second.
And that is based on the description that the applicant gave and the recommendation from the town engineer and the town planner.
Do we need to keep the hearing open?
Not if there's,
No.
no, we don't. But once
Make a motion
we-
to close the
wait,
public
wait,
hearing.
We're not done with all the votes yet, right?
Yeah, I think the waivers is before we close the public hearing.
Right.
Right.
So we've got
Gotta vote
a
on-
motion and we've got a second. We need to vote on the waivers.
Okay.
Like that, big stack.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye.
So
So,
without the waiver, or having granted the waivers, the advice is we don't need to do an site inspection or get a report from the town engineer, so we can proceed.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
all in favor?
Like that, big stack.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye.
And the motion should be, we accept the plan as submitted. Is that the wording for the motion?
Yeah,
Subject to standard conditions. There's no, we're not going to have any special conditions for
No,
this.
standard
But the
conditions,
We're
standard
done.
conditions, right?
yeah.
I hesitate standard conditions, right? Because your standard conditions for a subdivision probably have a number of
Carry a bunch of
inspection
things
and.
Yeah, they
that you
do.
don't
You're right,
need.
they do. They do.
So, your standard conditions,
So we could vote to approve and then come back and look at the conditions if you want to.
That might make the most sense, so that we have some time to consider
Integrate the
which ones
waivers
are
and how they affect the
applicable and which
conditions.
ones are not applicable.
right? Or you could vote tonight to approve, and then, I could address the conditions and just remove any that are affected by a waiver that you granted.
And you could bring them back and we could vote on that. So we have 60 days to do that, right? So I move that we accept or approve the plan as submitted, and conditions will be established through the process that Mr. Farady just described.
Second.
All in favor?
Accept these then.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on the fastest
Well,
Form
it's-
C
It's a
in
first for
history.
me, for sure. It's all positive. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Good job.
patience waiting through
Good
all the
job.
other.
All right, so
Is that it?
we got Sandwich Road and Cranberry Highway.
Josh, shouldn't scribbles be on
All
here?
right,
Scribble? The lighting?
What is the last one? Discussion and possible vote regarding administrative approval procedures for minor
Take a ride by.
well,
So first
Wait a
we
minute.
have two decisions to
Yeah.
vote on.
right. And the applicant isn't here on either. So,
Yeah, I don't know that do we?
These have been closed and approved. These
Yes.
were site plan reviews, or they
So
were?
we had conditions that we were
Wait,
putting.
but these were site plan reviews only, right?
yes,
Yes.
Not special permit?
no, no, they were not special permit.
I've got 238, 240 as a special permit.
Really.
Site plan review, special permit
I
for
think,
contractor base.
okay. That was a while ago. Oh, is this,
This is 238, 240.
this is
one.
Peter's
Yeah.
project?
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
title bond,
Yep.
correct. All right, so,
So I see that, Alan,
And-
this is my notes that say special permit, contractor base. But
so we have,
Alan and Major's letter
There was a-
indicates only site plan review, so I may be mistaken. Where's the
Where did Josh, we need Josh to confirm. Because I think we discussed at the time that the heading in the agenda may have been,
yeah, I think it was just site plan review.
Okay.
let's wait.
Yeah,
for
That's what
Josh.
this
Here we go.
shows.
This just
and-
says site plan review.
We had initial peer review, A&M, March 19th, JC Engineering responded.
The Peter Titlebaum's initial letter says site plan review.
That's what I remembered, that it was
Denial letter.
mislabeled, I thought.
The denial letter says site plan review.
So Phil,
I may be mistaken.
No, I think it was mislabeled in
Yeah.
several of the
I-
agendas.
that's really what it
Okay, and
was, you're
that's-
right.
That's where I would have gotten it from.
So
So we think this is,
Phil, you
Let's start-
had
Josh.
your letter of February,
Can I look at
February
this? How you're
20th.
organizing it, 'cause I'm-
They responded. Did you do a
Struggling.
follow-up letter, or was it not? I'm sorry. I
I,
don't see it. That's why I'm wondering.
let me just check my records. I do not
Trying to
believe
do
there
it
was a
digitally, and
follow-up
that's
letter.
not
it's
working.
hard.
Yeah,
It's hard to figure out a system.
well, it would be, this is where it's a challenge when
Yeah, Josh.
A&M letters and the responses on the
Yeah.
record.
So Josh, I've got, 238, 240 listed as site plan review special permit that I think I might have gotten from one of the agendas.
Okay.
Question
And
is, what is
the
it?
question was whether the special permit is actually accurate. And I'm looking through my documentation, and it's all saying just special permit, just
Yeah.
site plan review, not special permit.
And Allen and Major's letter says site plan review, not special permit.
Right.
Yeah,
and-
so the applicant went to the zoning board of appeals for a special permit.
Okay, all right, that's what it was.
Site plan review.
Yeah, all we're opining on is the site plan review.
That's
Right.
correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
It was the
Okay,
ZBA that was
so-
their involvement. Sorry.
All right.
Okay, so we were looking to vote on conditions for these two projects. So let's start with 238, 240 Sandwich Road, item 10. And Josh had put together standard conditions that enumerated, there were 100
I think
items.
I think it was great. That's
I think
the
they were really good.
culmination of the work that we've been trying to do
Yeah.
all along.
Agreed.
I
And
move that we apply those to both of these.
Yeah, can I just
we'll start
ask
with one.
Phil,
We'll start with one.
on
To make sure that these never stay, they have to stay.
322,
Combing through.
I think that A&M on by letter of March 22nd responded. I just want to make sure there aren't any conditions that A&M,
Yeah. So I combed through and I did not find anything that needed to be added, so maybe you
Okay.
found something.
no.
I looked as best I could.
Yeah,
I didn't have anything in my notes.
yeah. I didn't have anything in my notes either that had not been discussed and resolved.
I was surprised they were there.
And I don't see,
I was surprised they were on the agenda.
It was just the decision that we needed to
Okay.
finalize. And we've got until I believe the 22nd, we don't have a meeting before then, so we just need to vote on that.
When are we meeting? You said the 22nd?
No, the 22nd is when the 60 days is up
Oh,
for
oh,
these two
okay,
projects. That's why we need to vote on them tonight.
Well, Carl
Vote
made a
on the
motion,
decision.
it's been
Well,
seconded.
so my only question would be with Phil, was there anything that you weren't satisfied with?
If I may,
Conditions?
just to answer your question with clarity, we issued our letter on February 20th,
Yeah.
and the applicant presented his response letter with his letter dated March 19th. He presented it here to the board, and we sort of worked it out real time.
Okay.
We had no further issues. We did not issue a final letter because
Okay.
of the way they presented the material.
Okay, good. That's what I recalled, but yes, thank you. I'm happy.
So I think we've satisfied.
Josh, I didn't remember any special conditions, did you?
You did have 3 conditions that you talked about at the close of the hearing. One of them was the revision to the landscaping buffer just as you enter the property. There was a concern that the retaining wall was too far back and the plantings would be put
Yeah.
at the toe of the wall instead of the top of the wall.
Didn't we get drawings that
so-
showed that?
Yep, so there was the condition, or there was the concern, you guys closed it with that concern still open. I've received plans that show the retaining wall move forward and the planting
trees
buffer
on
on top.
Okay.
So that was one of them. The second one was you wanted a final letter from the onset fire department, which I have received. And then the third condition was you wanted a traffic impact study, and not a full study, but a letter from a traffic engineer saying, we recognize that the proposed project is less impactful than the previously approved project, which was the nursing facility. And I have that letter as well.
Okay.
So we're done.
That was the July letter. Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes, okay. I'm happy.
So I had a motion that we apply, there were no special conditions, they've been resolved, and that we apply the standard conditions as submitted by Mr. Verity in his letter dated yesterday or this morning, whatever.
Dated May 8th,
Oh,
Friday,
I-
Friday, May 8th.
Oh, I got the I thought the email came today, but maybe I just,
Well, that's,
oh, Friday, May
The
8th.
the list of conditions?
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it Friday or Saturday? My
No, it
weekend
says
kinda-
Friday, May 8th at
Sorry.
3:26.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Yeah.
dates that you were not supposed to be working, so,
Exactly.
thank you.
Really.
Good. So I made that motion.
So, we got a second?
Yes, I second that.
Oh, okay, sorry. All in favor?
Like that, please,
Crossholtz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye. Okay, so 238 is approved. Actually, site plan review, it's not approved, it is
Accept.
confirmed. I'm going to say we're going to confirm
No,
review.
no, we're not.
No, we're not
We already
changing.
voted on.
I know we
that.
did.
We're just.
What was the language that was used? Because I know approved is not the way that site plan reviews should. What was the
This
language
is the
you, what was the,
I don't
what were the
remember.
words you used?
No, we can approve a site plan review. It's A&Rs that we don't approve. We accept, or we find that it is a approval not
Is it even
required.
site plan review? Because you
I
can't,
think, Carl, I think you
Oh,
made
you're right,
a-
you can't deny, you can't
You can't
deny.
deny.
Right, so you felt that because we couldn't deny, therefore we could not approve, and you
yes.
like accepted the site plan review
Okay,
conditions.
yeah, that,
Subject to
you're
the
right.
conditions,
Yeah,
yes.
Subject, and then,
To the
but
general
tonight, we're
conditions.
just applying the conditions.
Right.
right.
I'll go back and look, you're right, we
No, I-
can't deny it,
Yeah,
so we
I-
don't approve it.
I think your logic was we could not deny, so therefore we cannot approve, so we accept the conditions of the site plan as presented.
Yeah,
Maybe a little semantical, but I understood the
Yeah,
logic.
yeah.
it would seem that this should have been settled in court years ago, I mean,
And give us the language.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm guessing a judge basically said, I don't see the difference in accepting and approving, and I'm not gonna,
Worry about it.
Darn.
yeah.
Okay, so
Let's
that's
keep Carl in.
238, 240. One more.
Yep.
3031 Cranberry Highway Waterways Site Plan Review. Same set of conditions.
Except,
And do we need to add any?
yes, based on A&M's letter. It's really around the DOT and the bollards, is that how you pronounce it?
The bollards, yeah.
Bollards, yes.
I mean, it's an existing site, I understand what they're doing, it's a horrible location as the town has evolved, but
Yeah. Yep, and Phil, what you're recommending is the planning board may wish to approve the application subject to condition that a copy of the submission plans to Mass DOT be provided to the planning department for record and that they illustrate the bollard placement.
right.
So,
But that's a state highway and we can't really regulate it.
can't,
You
yeah.
can't, but the recommendation is, A, to enforce that the applicant is doing what they testified to you that they would do, and that if they're told not to do it, at least you have the paperwork as to why that didn't happen. So when they come back in for the closure, it's well documented.
And in further of that, kind of a subcondition, just as you've recommended, Phil, is that we get a, if the plans are in any way altered through the Mass DOT process, they be brought before the board for notification of project change. So,
That would be required anyway, right?
Yeah, and I think, Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, we were trying to enumerate that in the decision only because we have recently seen a major issue with that process, so
yeah.
I think reiterating it was important.
Which
Yeah.
project was that?
The Taunton Federal Credit Union.
That wasn't us.
That was-
It wasn't you, but it had some serious concerns with how Mass DOT and the applicant addressed an entrance issue.
Yeah.
A huge hardship for them.
Hopefully Taco Bell is not the same thing? Hopefully not? Just next door? Is
I
that the
can-
ones next door?
Not to dive too much in the weeds on either one of these projects.
Never mind.
Mass DOT approved Taunton Federal Credit Union with a reduced entrance width because it was a separate entrance than it was an exit. Taco Bell has an entrance exit in the front, and then it has a way to
Egress.
An
Out the back,
egress at the back.
exit. Yes, correct.
Mass
Through
DOT did the same thing on the other bank. next to Taco Bell.
Yeah, they
That's
did.
on DOT property in the front.
Right, and then they required the exit
Right.
onto Tow Road.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
projects are a little different, but
Yeah.
the sentiment is there.
Okay. All right, so you wanted to add those two things?
Yeah. Kind of
So I
subcondition.
recommend that we apply our standard conditions as well as the two additional special conditions and move
As
forward.
noted.
And move forward. And authorize Mr. Farady to write the
Second.
package.
He's still
and-
talking, too.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
What?
And he seconded you, but you're still talking. So anyway.
Second again.
I guess we're ready for
He
a vote.
seconded you again.
FT Stack.
Carl Schultz, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye.
Okey-dokey. Right, person who wasn't here, thank you.
And then the next item, and hopefully the last item, is Josh's list of, or his email about minor modifications that could be determined.
Is that consistent with the rules and regulations that we wrote?
No, it would have to be placed into the rules and regulations, but I felt it was
that's
maybe
fine, yeah.
warranting the discussion. You know, maybe this doesn't go into effect tomorrow because of that. But I think, you know, just starting the conversation is beneficial.
No, I just, again, process. We had addressed some of this in the rules and regulations. These are changes, so we have to have a public hearing, all of that.
And I think it assists the planning board, who frankly, and I thank you, have become much more proactive in some of the things like looking at this.
Well, I think it ramps up your ability to be a filter.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to
I appreciate it.
analogize it to like you guys being parents and giving your teenager the keys to the car a little bit. Yeah, you're not going to let them go off and do whatever they want, but you know, I've put in some safeguards there to protect your interests as a board. And you know, the way I'm looking at this is, if given the power, I would probably use it pretty sparingly, in the sense that I wouldn't want to turn around and do something wild and have to face the wrath of the Wareham Planning Board upon disagreement.
So, and I have to read it again, but the only, we can discuss each of those powers, but
Yep.
one of the key things is, I think in the past, some of these things happened without notification.
Yeah.
Just say, I did this thing.
Yeah, I think, and this is something that I had done with the Conservation Commission, you know, similar thing, was I had a standing agenda item that was, if I approved a modification in that given time period, I just tell you guys about it at our next meeting.
Yep, because
Yeah.
that was one of the reasons we were taking the keys away from our teenage son, because he was taking the car and not telling us.
Yeah, yeah. And even in, you know,
Analogy?
the procedure that I have laid out for you guys, you know, I never take any of the power away from you. It's still, you guys still have the ability to say like, hold on, you know, that was granted, but maybe we don't necessarily agree 100% with the way it was granted. So there's an ability for you guys to say, we want this to come back to the board. And I'm going to follow that up with a written determination. So as I make it a standing agenda item to say like, hey, this is what I've done, I can also provide you the paperwork that, you know, the applicant would receive as well, to say, hey, you came to us for a request for a modification. You know, upon my review, I've determined that not only is it minor, but it's so minor that I don't want to waste the board's time with it procedurally. And here's the determination granting it. Mm-hmm. And then I could provide that to you at the same exact time. And if one of you determines that, like,
Wait a minute.
yeah,
no.
I'm not totally in favor with how this happened, there is a mechanism for it to come back to the board.
That would happen within
I
the
think that's
20-day
great.
appeal period anyway. Are the minor modifications subject to the 20-day appeal?
No,
I
no.
don't think so.
But for that fact, if we're amending the rules and regulations, 15 days, 20 days, if a member of the planning board determines it wasn't as minor as so thought,
Yeah.
then the applicant understands that moving forward.
Right, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
No,
fine. to me.
Let's draft a new version of the rules and regs. We had a bunch of other things.
We do. Well, keep in mind that, which we should talk a minute about, is Judith appearing, Judy
You
appearing.
told me she
but
wasn't going to.
Once we do this
We
whole
want a
zoning
meeting.
relight, right, we definitely have to look at rules and regs. And she'll talk about it, but she had a fairly strong opinion about some of what we have in the zoning bylaws can be moved into the rules and regs.
We were trying to, that was what we
Yeah,
were trying
yeah.
to do before,
And
so that
she's-
we had more
Right,
latitude, not town meeting, but public hearing.
Right.
right. And the value of it, she gives us the benefit of what other towns have done in the past, so that's helpful too,
Yeah.
in our meeting today.
Yeah, to quickly speak to that, we have a fairly strong draft of what the new bylaws could look like. Judy Barrett wanted another week to kind of just finalize a few things that she was working on. So it seems very appropriate that we get a draft out to the public next week.
And we had at one point talked about open houses and
Oh,
discussion.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Yep,
talked
and
about
that's-
that.
That's still,
Because if we're dumping a
In
whole
June.
new set of zoning bylaws on,
yeah,
some of them are gonna glaze over and others are gonna
yeah, I
say
mean,
no on principle.
right. I think what we've seen historically at town meeting is zoning bylaws are very confusing for the general public. They're very confusing for experts as well. But yeah, our plan moving forward is that if this is something that we're gonna bring to fall town meeting, we're gonna be doing a lot of selling this summer.
And one of the committee members recommended, which we thought was a good idea, is to think about who are some of the stakeholders, interested parties in town, who, we talked about how do we publicize these community events, and reaching out to that group, running an ad in Wareham Week, doing a press release, and really making sure that as many people as we can reach are aware that this is being presented. And we've talked about the first meeting would be in June, so we're working through that, so,
Encourage engineers, builders,
yep,
blah, blah.
yeah.
Yeah, and thinking about
And
people who need to
interested
be
community members, right, be aware.
informed of it.
Go as
And-
far as informing them directly.
Right, and not only builders and engineers and architects who are in town,
Absolutely.
but the ones that we deal with on a regular basis particularly.
Yeah. And these are really going to be amended and restated bylaws, looking at the changes that she's already made. They're,
Is it a wholesale swap, or you're gonna try and do a line item by
It's
line?
not,
item?
it was impossible to do a line item by.
That's what I was hoping.
It was just this
Yeah.
big jumble, and so.
It's impossible.
I mean, yeah.
If you would like, I can share the draft that we have right now, and you
Yeah.
will quickly identify that redlining it would be
Would have been
impossible.
next to
Because I
impossible.
had tried to redline it,
Yeah,
I
you
had
just can't.
sticky tapes and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
so
what-
what Barrett Planning Group has proposed, and it has worked in other communities, is you create this thing that's called a crosswalk. And it's, you take a section of the bylaw that we currently have, and you say, hey, this is how we're proposing to rewrite it. And as you can see, nothing substantive has changed from the revision rewrite. There will be revisions to the bylaw where Judy Barrett and her team have found that we do not comply with the state law. And I
Or
think
if
that,
there were contradictions.
right, and the sell on that fact is, town meeting, we are becoming more in line with what state law actually says we can do. We were really trying not to add new amendments to the bylaw, as it creates a more confusing approach, but really getting into a place where we're comfortable.
Structurally, well, I'll wait for the, but is it organized the same way it was?
Pretty much, we just
Paragraph,
moved
section.
moved one thing this afternoon.
Yeah.
yeah. And a lot of work on the table of uses, all of that.
She's still
that they're
working on that.
through.
Yeah, there's
And
still
that needs a lot of work.
Can I still build my piggery downtown?
Yes, we are,
Retain
yeah,
piggery,
yeah.
or a fur farm, whatever that is. Have at it.
can raise ermine.
But we did talk to her about appearing at our next meeting, because obviously she comes before us before we move to the community, so we did,
She's been on the schedule since January.
yeah, I know. Did we talk about the fact that the next meeting is Memorial Day?
There isn't.
And that's my next question. Are we even
Yeah.
having an extra meeting
We,
or not?
Right? Isn't the next?
but, so the next meeting, we were looking to potentially have a meeting on the 18th. I was supposed to talk about that at the beginning, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got it in my notes. We're not going to forget.
Because Memorial Day is the 25th, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right,
And I think the concern was January you canceled the meeting, February you canceled the meeting due to weather. March you had 2 meetings, April you had 1 meeting because of town meeting. To only have 1 meeting in May.
just
seemed-
as, yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So we're,
Do we need to have it?
Well, I know
Question
that
number one.
our
So-
town planners, your, what's her name, and I apologize.
Kathy,
Kathy,
Kathy.
that's what I thought it was.
Yep.
She said there already were several projects,
she
that
said, I think
the
she
next
said there were
meeting.
2
2 projects
that we would need to do, or we should
plan on.
put on the agenda for the 18th.
So we are having a meeting.
I will not be here on the 18th.
I'm sorry, I missed that comment. My only concern was we would have had to publicize that the 18th was a meeting, and I'm gonna say that we
We're
didn't.
not in time for it.
Not
But
in
with
time
that
for
being
it?
said, I think that there
We could
are,
have a regular meeting on the 18th, because you only need 48 hours. Oh, because the town changed.
the advertisement in the Wareham Week
Yeah.
for a project
For a
is
project.
date specific.
Yeah,
And you need to run it
Oh,
for
it's a-
2
if it's a
consecutive.
public- That's if it's a
Oh.
public
Right.
hearing.
if it's
I
a
was-
public hearing, it's not an A and
What-
R? I
what-
don't know.
What Kathy may have mentioned is that there's probably continued business that didn't require a public hearing that we could take up on the 18th.
Yes,
And I would believe that to be accurate. There are things that I could get in front of you guys on the 18th.
Okay.
well, or
Well,
an
Judy
A&R.
was gonna be able to make it to us on
Right.
the 18th by 7.
Right,
She's got
so,
another obligation.
right.
We'll
So
tie her up until.
I think if the request, or if the plan is that you guys hold a meeting on the 18th, I could probably fill up an hour's worth of your time
Okay,
until Judy Baird arrives at 7 to give the
I
presentation on.
could conceivably zoom in.
okay,
I will be in western Pennsylvania on the 18th.
okay.
Okay.
If that works for you, that would
All right.
be great.
Just keep going without me. Good. It's good if we're not doing a new A&R, then I won't miss a meeting, the whole Mullen
Yeah,
rule.
right.
Yep,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better if it's not a new A&R.
Right,
right.
okay.
And I don't know that we have, I don't think we have any A&Rs in the office to be acted upon anyway.
Okay,
I will just have to confirm with Wareham Cable Television
That we
that
can
they
do it.
can accommodate that Monday
True.
evening.
Yeah.
But
John has got his thumb in the air, so.
Thumbs
Awesome.
up from John.
Thank you, John. So,
so we should at least put Judy on the schedule,
Yeah.
At 7.
7.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yep,
She
understood.
said if she can get here earlier, she will. but-
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I will not, well, it's not a public hearing, so I'm not so worried about this. I will not put her on at 7, just because I don't want you guys to have to
Yeah.
wait. If
Yeah, right, right.
if
No,
she gets
don't-
here at 6:30, I don't want to sit here and
Yeah,
twiddle our thumbs.
I know, agreed, yeah.
But yeah, we will post a meeting for next week at 6
Okay.
p.m. and I will work on
Perfect.
filling an hour's worth of your time until
Sounds
Judy
good.
comes.
Okay. Good work.
So I'm gonna move the 25th to the 18th.
Okay.
Right, because the 25th is the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okey dokey.
anything else?
You got the letter from Nancy Baker?
Yes, that we have 2 members who are up for renewal.
Yes. You got to put that on the agenda?
Who's up for renewal?
Mike and Sam.
I have, yeah. And the recommendation are the two representatives.
So we need to get that on the agenda.
You could do that
For
on
the
the
18th.
18th.
We could
Yeah.
do that on the 18th.
Yep. And what the planning board is doing is they're taking a vote to present the recommendation to the appointing authority.
Select board, yes.
No,
No,
the
no, the appointing authority is Jane, the chair of the select board,
Yes.
and,
The
Margaret,
moderator.
the town moderator,
Okay.
correct. So your recommendation to the appointing authority.
Appointing authority, you're right.
Yep.
At the next meeting, the recommendation for the other two committees.
Which two
Capital
committees?
Planning and CPC,
Okay.
Community Preservation Committee,
Those
Yep.
are,
Capital Planning.
those are the committees that keep Sam busy. I think you're appointed to both of them, right? Yeah.
CP is the one that takes a lot of time. Capital Planning's a breeze.
And planning board's a breeze. Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got.
So, anybody else, anything?
Motion adjourned.
There we go.
Good.
All in favor?
He's back.
He said aye.
Aye.
Aye, I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
So we are adjourning at 8:25.
I think she knows.